From Studio 4 in the world headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital, this is the News with Rick Sanchez.
Good evening. This morning, in one of the most stunning reactions this country has ever seen from Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she snapped and became extremely agitated when a reporter asked her if she hates the president. It happened as she was walking away from the podium after she had announced that the impeachment of Mr. Trump will proceed. Here it is.
Do you hate the president, Madam Speaker? Because
I don't hate anybody.
Representative Collins,
I was raised in Catholic house. We don't hate anybody, not anybody in the world. So don't you accuse me.
I did not accuse you.
You did.
I asked a question.
You did.
Representative Collins yesterday suggested that the Democrats are doing this simply because they don't like the guy.
I have nothing to do with it. Let me just say this.
This is about the Constitution of the United States and the facts that lead to the president's violation of his oath of office. And as a Catholic, I resent your using the word hate in a sentence that addresses me.
Wow. Then there's the other hot button issue that came out of the impeachment proceedings having to do with the president's son, Barron. That's coming up in our Media Muddle segment, which you do not want to miss. But we're going to begin tonight with wars and talk of more wars. The U.S. is presently engaged in wars in 7 countries. Probably less than 1% of you watching this newscast right now could name them because our media and our government prefer that you don't even know. I, not just as a journalist, but as a fellow American, believe that we should know. So here's the list of the countries where we are at war: Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Libya, and Niger. By the way, we also have more than 850 military bases around the world, some of which look more like cities than bases. Why am I telling you this? Here's why. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the Trump administration is now considering sending 14,000 U.S. soldiers and Marines to the Middle East. The report says that the contingent would also include dozens of ships and more military hardware to surround, essentially, Iran. Word is the president will make a final call on whether to send or not send any troops by the end of this month. Of course, soon after this article was making headlines, the Pentagon came out with a denial. There's really so much to chew on with this story, including the potential for an 8th war for our already overextended military, this time with Iran. And the question it behooves us to ask, right, as reporters: will a damaged, impeached president be more apt to engage militarily? Think about it. This is the News with Rick Sanchez, where we believe it's time to do news again. Okay, here we go. The list of the questions we think you'll be asking tomorrow. Are we really considering an escalation of troops in the Middle East again? What does ex-Navy SEAL and Governor Jesse Ventura say about the ruckus NATO summit? And a nationally syndicated columnist joins us to answer, why is the U.S. media so muddled? Once again, the saying, at least as I learned from Paco and Adela, those would be my parents, by the way, as I'm sure you probably learned from your parents as well, or your teachers, is the following: where there's smoke, there is fire. So here's the point. Just because the Pentagon is saying that it is not sending any more troops to the Middle East doesn't mean it isn't going to happen.
It's a move, if proven true, would double the number of U.S. military personnel who have been sent to the region since President Trump started building up troops back in May. But the Pentagon is already disputing the accuracy of that report. In a tweet, Pentagon Press Secretary Alyssa Ferris said, "To be clear, the reporting is wrong. The U.S. is not sending 14,000 troops to the Middle East. If this latest troop deployment does come to fruition, the troops will likely be used as a deterrent against Iranian retaliation for recent sanctions under the administration's economic pressure campaign. The U.S. has already increased its military presence in the Gulf. In the past 2 months, the DoD deployed the USS Abraham Lincoln to the Strait of Hormuz and sent additional weapons and fighter jets to Saudi Arabia, all in a show of force. But on Wednesday, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani appeared to have a change of heart. He said his country would be willing to return to the negotiating table to discuss its nuclear program, but he said that the U.S. would first need to remove all sanctions. On that same day, while meeting with U.S. Secretary Mike Pompeo in Portugal, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu actually called for more sanctions against Iran and said the recent unrest in that country was an opportunity to, quote, topple the regime. Pompeo echoed that sentiment.
We all know what's going on in Iran itself. These are people that are seeking freedom and a reasonable way to live, and they recognize the threat that is posed by the kleptocrats that are running the Islamic Republic of Iran. So we talked with our European partners about that and how we can together ensure that we do everything we can to create opportunity for these people who simply want freedom and the chance to live a normal life.
Last year, Trump ordered the withdrawal of 2,000 troops from northeastern Syria and agreed to leave half, all to counter Islamic State fighters and back Kurdish allies. Also ordered was 200 troops to stay behind in southern Syria to counter Iran-backed forces. This year, he again ordered a full withdrawal of the remaining 1,000 troops from Syria, then backpedaled to leave about half of those troops to help guard the Kurdish-run oil fields. And with the 2020 presidential election mounting and promises of getting troops out of foreign conflicts and avoiding potential new ones, President Trump is convinced threats his aides say Tehran poses need to be checked. For the news with Rick Sanchez, Farron Franzak, RT.
Joining us now is Danny Scherzen. He's not.
All right, Shalom. First, we'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, as you can see in this clip, it says 14,000 troops to Iran border. And the statement that he started out with was wars and rumors of wars, wasn't it?
Time.
So we're going to start with that scripture first.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right, and that's what you see going on. He stated at the beginning, America is at war with certain other countries, man. And then you got a lot of proxy wars going on also, man. That's Bible prophecy. Okay. And that's happening, and they bringing it out in the news media, man.
See that ye be not troubled.
Right.
For all these things must come to pass.
So this is supposed to be happening.
Okay. But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet, man.
For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom.
Race riots and kingdom against kingdom. It's going to be a third world war. The ultimate war is the third world war, which is Russia versus America, and then the rest of the nations getting involved.
God. And there shall be famines, pestilence.
And that's happening. Famines is the lack of food. That's happening. Pestilence is diseases. They've been on the hush-hush with the disease epidemics going around.
God.
But it's happening.
Earthquakes in diverse places.
Yep, that's happening.
All these things are the beginning of sorrows.
Yep. So we're in the time of the beginning of sorrows.
Then shall they deliver unto you to be afflicted.
Okay, we can start right there.
Okay.
Right, man. So we're in that time of these prophecies right there happening, man.
Okay.
You know, and they only gonna get worse, man. Yeah, please up.
Joel 3.
Go ahead.
It's a Joel chapter 3. Verse 1. It said, behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
That's what you see happening, man, with the Lord's people raising up. And out there on them corners around the world, man. That's the Lord bringing his people back together. Through his word.
That's right.
Through his prophets. The word that he gave his prophets, starting with the elders, the apostles on down.
I will also gather all nations.
Yep.
And bring them down unto the valley of Jehoshaphat.
That's over there in the Middle East, man.
Okay. Hey, and that's what ultimately what they're gathering for. You know, they already got troops deployed. You know, Like you said, you hearing wars here, wars there. You know, they just gearing up, be ready for that final battle, because they're gonna stop fighting each other and turn to fight the Lord, which the scripture gonna say.
So what they doing right now is leading up to that third world war, and then once that happen, Yahweh Shai gonna come back, you know, and they gonna try to fight against Yahweh Shai.
That's right. It says, the battle of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them for my people. It's like for my people and my heritage, Israel.
Yeah, man. Everything that they have done to Israel is going to be taken into account. And go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Yup, slavery.
That's right.
Israel went into slavery under these nations one time or another. But now we in slavery up under this white man, this Edomite, this devil, you know.
And they have, it's like verse 3, it says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
Yeah, so they had give a boy for a harlot means they was having sex with them young boys, and selling the young women for wine.
Okay. So verse 4 it says, yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
That's them Africans.
Okay. And I will render ye my will ye render me a recompense? If ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return the recompense upon your head.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it unto your temples, my gold and pleasant things.
Right, we are not Africans. Some Africans took us into slavery. So the Lord, when he established the kingdom of heaven, gonna put them in slavery. They took all our substance, our gold and stuff. You know?
That was it on that.
And it's gonna be given back, man, when that time comes, man.
That's right.
This second Ezra chapter 15, verse 10, it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I would not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Right, so, you know, Israel has been led as a flock to the slaughter through all these philosophies, which is getting them put to death and stuff, man. Okay. You know, and the Lord getting tired of it. So, you know, he gonna deliver his elect, starting with his elect. He gonna deliver his elect, and Egypt, which is America, is going to be destroyed, man. That's why these wars and stuff is happening. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. That's it.
There's a point I was looking for in the same verse. Same exact. This is what I was saying. Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Let me get 2 Ezra chapter 15. Get verse 27.
27?
Yep.
This is 2 Ezra 15 and 27. It says, for now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them.
Yep.
For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him.
Right, and that's talking about our people. It's going to be race riots, pestilences, famines, all types of plagues going on in America. But the Lord not going to deliver his people. The whole earth, as a matter of fact. Slakia, the whole earth, it says.
Yeah.
And that's what's actually going on all over the world, man. There's plagues damn near every country, city state. You know, and it's only gonna get worse. But for the Lord's people, the ones that sinned against him, he not gonna deliver them. 2/3 gonna be put to death, and the 1/3 is gonna be delivered during that time.
That's right. So verse 28, it says, Behold in horrible vision, in the appearance thereafter, thereof from the east, and the nations of the dragons.
Where are the nations?
It's like where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth. That all they which hear, it's like all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians?
Yep.
Carmenians raging in wrath.
That's them Iranians. And you see they keep bringing up this whole Iran and the nuclear program, the nuclear talks, this, that, and that, other. It's going to be a time where Iran just going to be like, fuck it. And they're going to go to war. The Lord going to put the spirit on them to go to war.
Shall go forth as a wild boar from the wood.
Of the wood.
It's like as the wild boars of the wood. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Right. The dragons of Arabia was talking about them Arabs, and they're gonna join battle. The Carmenians, which is Elam, which is Iran, they're gonna join forces with them Arabs. And Iran gonna shoot nuclear missiles on America, which is Assyria. That's prophecy. That's Bible prophecy, and they talking about it right here.
Okay. It says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and it's like, and if then shall it's like, and then. It's like, I started over. It says in verse 31, it says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in a great power to persecute them.
Right. So America gonna be persecuted by Iran and them Arab nations, man. There's going to be a war that America going to join that war, going to get into conflict with Russia and Iran and them Arab nations. And then who going to be with America? Israel going to help America, you know. And it's going to be an all-out war, man.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to drag this out. I just want to just bring out this point. You know, so with all that being said, all praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.